For decades, high net worth individuals used offshore trusts in places like Jersey, Cayman, or the BVI to structure wealth. But today, many of those same families are moving their structures to the UAE. And the reason is simple. It's not about secrecy anymore. It's about control, governance, and jurisdictional stability. Hi, I'm Enis, managing partner and co-founder of Ancova Associates. We work with international investors structuring real estate, companies, and family wealth across multiple jurisdictions, including the UAE, Europe, and traditional offshore centers. And one clear trend we are seeing in this: UAE foundations are increasingly replacing traditional offshore trust structures. To understand the shift, you first need to understand what a trust is. A traditional offshore trust separates legal ownership and beneficial ownership. In simple terms, a trustee legally controls the assets, while beneficiaries receive the economic benefit. This structure has been used for decades for estate planning, wealth protection, and inheritance structuring. But trusts come with complexity. They rely heavily on trustees, external jurisdictions, and legal interpretations across multiple countries. And that's where modern investors start looking for alternatives. A UAE foundation, such as one establishment under DIFC or ADGM frameworks, is different. It is a legal entity that can hold assets, companies, and investments directly. But unlike a trust, it operates with clear constitutional documents, defined governance rules, and a structured council system. So instead of separating ownership through a trustee relationship, you centralize ownership inside a controlled legal entity. The key difference is this: a trust is trustee controlled. A foundation is rules controlled. That distinction is exactly why investors are shifting. There are three main reasons for this shift. Number one, jurisdictional preference. The UAE is increasingly viewed as a stable, business-oriented jurisdiction with strong international connectivity. Many families prefer consolidating structures closer to where they actually operate. Number two, governance clarity. Trust structures depend heavily on trustees and external interpretations. Foundations allow founders to define governance rules more precisely from the beginning. That includes control mechanisms, asset distribution rules, and succession planning logic. Number three, cross-border asset integration. Modern wealth is no longer held in one place. Investors own real estate in Dubai, companies in Europe, banking relationships globally. A UAE foundation allows these assets to be consolidated under one governing structure instead of fragmented offshore entities. Now, this is important. UAE foundations are not a tax avoidance tool. They do not automatically eliminate tax obligations in other countries, and they do not replace proper tax residency planning. What they do is this: they create a central governance structure for international assets. So they sit in the category of legal structuring, not tax engineering. And that distinction is critical. We typically see UAE foundations used by international entrepreneurs with multi-country companies, real estate investors with cross-border portfolios, family businesses planning generational succession, and high net worth individuals relocating or partially relocating to the UAE. The common theme is not complexity for its own sake. It is control. Control over assets, succession, and governance across jurisdictions. So the shift is very clear. Traditional offshore trusts are still used, but increasingly being replaced by the UAE foundation structures. Not because they disappeared, but because investor needs have changed. From offshore secrecy to onshore control. From fragmented ownership to central governance. From legacy structures to modern jurisdictional planning. If you want to understand whether a UAE foundation fits into your wealth or real estate strategy, reach out to us at Ancova. Because in modern structuring, the question is no longer where your asset sits. It's how they are governed.